As you hit the origins option in your PC, Ari, immediately your vision goes black, and these images flash across what would be your eyes. And before you know it, this sense of dread fills you. This sense of failure. This sense of death. And as your essentially optic nerves flicker back to life, you wake up in a very strange and destroyed place. You've heard of this place before, and you've read about it. It's very similar. You can see a statue off in the corner behind you as you glance around of some sort of legendary Pokemon. But the ground is destroyed. People are gone. And you wake up in what is a ruined city. What would you like to do?
Just broken buildings, yawning earth, and this horrible pressure in the air like something failed catastrophically. I blink, hand trembling slightly, and mutter, okay, not creepy at all. Definitely normal to be dropped into apocalyptic ghost memory ruins. Then I grab Joltik.exe's Pokeball, keep him close, and do what any sane, cursed researcher would do. I head toward the Pokemon Center ruins first. If there's data, terminals, or even a single piece of power still humming in this graveyard, it'll be there. I need to know what happened. What caused this? Let's see what the world looked like before it flatlined. Joltik.exe floats just behind me, light dimmed, like even he feels it. I'm not scared. I'm curious.
As you head towards the Pokemon Center, you hear off in the distance this loud roar, like something angry has just taken notice of something. You're not sure 100% what it is, but it's unsettling. As you turn and make your way into the Pokemon Center, there is no power to be seen. Lights, no smell of that sanitized, sterile environment that you've come to know from Kelp Brush. It's almost as though the Pokemon Center itself has been completely abandoned, save for yourself and your curiosity as a researcher. What would you like to do?
I immediately click Joltik.exe's internal light function, glow passive activates, and cast a soft, ghostly pulse of light across the floor. I whisper, all right, buddy, let's find out what they didn't want us to see. I start scanning the Pokemon Center for terminal ports. I could manually spark to life, maybe even temporarily connect Joltik.exe as a power source, medical logs, scrap paper, or damaged monitors. Anything with data, symbols, or even blood smears that spell out a name. I want clues. This place is dead, but data doesn't die easy. And whatever roared out there, I want to know what scared it enough to leave this town in pieces.
Go ahead and make me an investigation roll, if you would please, as you are trying to locate any signs of life. And by life, I don't mean physical life, I mean electronic life. So do keep in mind, Ari, with that, because of your skills with your researcher, you do get advantage on investigation rolls. All right, perfect. As you start sifting through what rubble there is, and feel free to move yourself around kind of where you're looking, you begin sifting through electronics, things of that nature. With Rotom, or Joltik, pardon me, I will go ahead and allow him to emit a slightly brighter light within 5 feet, almost like a little flashlight. And you begin kind of digging through some of the debris and things on the floor, from old computer parts, the mechanical operations that once were the Pokemon restoration device. You are able to get a good chunk of wiring, some metal scrap. Unfortunately, though, nothing too useful. It all looks very destroyed, almost like not only was it smashed and blown apart by something, it was also fried. I'd say you can definitely get a good amount of wiring. If I had to give you a number, I'd say about 12 usable electrical wires and probably about 8 pieces of metal scrap, just to give you an actual number. But past that, everything is still very dead in the dirt. Something blew through here, whether fleeing or fighting, you're not sure. But it's definitely not happy. Definitely did a number on this town.
I kneel in the dim light, hands carefully pulling wire from ruin, brushing dust off scorched metal like I'm peeling history from a corpse. Inventory update: 12x small electrical wires, 8x small metal scraps. Tools. Not answers, but tools always lead to answers. Whatever hit this place, it wasn't just destructive. It was scared. This was its exit wound. I pocket the salvage, flick Joltik.exe's glow down to conserve charge, and stand. There's nothing more for me here. Time to follow the scar. Where the earth splits, maybe something's still bleeding. I head out toward the largest fault line I saw outside. Eyes sharp, voice low. Let's see what screamed.
You exit, and your eyes are immediately drawn straight ahead of you. There's a huge gash through the actual landscape, and as you approach, you look over the edge, and it's just black. This large gash in the actual earth itself has rended everything that would lead south from the city. And then immediately a secondary roar, dissimilar from the first, but still angry, roars from the northeast.
2 roars, 2 monsters, different tones, same rage. Something died here, but something else is still hunting. I freeze at the edge of the chasm, staring down into the ruin like it might blink back. Then I whisper to Joltik.exe, log this, fault line echo event, twin roar phenomenon. Origin world, fragmented timeline, category apocalyptic. And then I turn toward the northeast. Not running, not sneaking, just moving, quietly, determined. If whatever's screaming out there thinks it owns the end of the world, then let's go find out who else survived.
As you begin to move, you have this almost similar presence. You step around a small chasm, and almost like the shadow is outreaching, you feel similar eyes watching you from the dark. Before, as you turn to meet them, they almost fade back. It just seems to be watching. It's almost anticipating something.
Oh no, no, not you again. That thing, the one from the house under the table, the presence I felt back then, it's here, it followed me. Or maybe it never left. I stop, fully, still as death. Joltik.exe's glow dims to a soft pulse, just enough for me to see the cracks, not enough to make me a beacon. Then I whisper, log this. Class, spectral echo. Behavior, observational. Location, edge-bound. This thing doesn't act like a wild ghost. It waits. It watches. It knows I know it's real. I'm not scared of you, I mutter into the dark. I built my whole personality around things like you. And yet, I walk a little faster, toward the northeast, because the only way out of this story is through.
That's intense. As you begin to move closer to the noise, you come across this extremely large statue. Go ahead, if you would, please, and make me a history check. Okay. You're not sure what Pokemon this is. It's almost alien to you. Like something about it has left you unsure of yourself. But on the other side of it, you do see this huge gash of a chasm, larger than the ones you've seen so far. And from below, you hear that same secondary roar.
That roar from below, it's not just loud, it's layered. It doesn't echo like sound, it echoes like memory. I don't recognize the statue, but that shape, it's important. Whatever's down there, it's either guarding this place, trapped beneath it, or it ended it. I kneel by the chasm's edge, careful not to lean in too far, and whisper, you're not roaring to scare. You're roaring because you're still here. Then I place one hand on the crumbled earth near the statue and let my voice drop. I don't know your name yet, but I think you remember mine. I stay low, listen carefully, trying to sense vibrations, shifts, anything that might help me pinpoint the shape or movement of what's underneath. Because next step, if this thing keeps calling, I might just call back.
That's wild. So, you lean over the chasm, waiting, listening. The sky darkens evermore. And as the ground around you begins to be covered in shadow, this time angrier, and this time moving.
The air shivers with that sound. This one isn't distant anymore. It's rising. I lean forward just a bit more, eyes locked into the deep dark like I'm trying to stare back at something ancient and furious. Okay, you're not just roaring now, you're hunting. I stand up slowly, not out of fear, but respect. I unclip Joltik.exe's ball, but keep him inside for now. Can't risk wasting power or attention. I reach into my bag, pulling out a handful of wire scrap and a piece of busted paneling. Begin assembling a quick seismic noise detector. Primitive, yes, but with the tech I've got and the ghost sense in my gut, it might just give me a heads up. You want to climb out of that pit and make noise? Fine. I'm listening. I place the scrap tool near the edge like bait. I stay nearby in shadow. If it's coming up, I want to see the first damn flicker of its eyes.
As you... first off, let's go ahead, Ari. Roll me an engineering roll to see how well you craft this device that is going to allow you to hopefully hear these Pokemon. Yep, advantage should be had on this one. Okay. It's ramshackle. It's not the best. With a little bit more time and a little bit more prep, you might have been able to make something better. But you're able to discern a little bit. As you cobble this device together, almost like you're running out of time, the response is instant. As the sky flashes in front of you, and your eyes are immediately drawn straight up as this large entity shoots straight out from this chasm and immediately turns two-legged like you've seen this creature before. And this ominous purple-pink attack is clawed through the air straight down in the direction it came. The attack itself fired, as I said, straight down. Do you have a reaction whatsoever to this happening?
Oh, hell. Even without the history check, every cell in my code is screaming what that is. Palkia. Not just a legend, a god of space. And it just tore out of a chasm like it was crawling out of its own grave. I drop to one knee, hand slowly lowering the janky detector. I don't move. I don't speak. Even breathing feels like it might fracture space-time if I do it wrong. Joltik.exe, stay dim. Do not move. We are not prepared for this kind of theology. This isn't just post-apocalyptic anymore. This is a timeline under siege, and the thing flying above me? That's not just mad. It's wounded. And if it sees me, I either talk to a god, or I vanish like dust.
As you are taking a knee and setting this device down, your eyes glance briefly down the chasm and notice two red eyes looking back at you before a flash of blue and a large beam comes out to meet this pink energy from the Palkia. It explodes about 60 feet above you into this large explosion before, almost at the same speed, rising up from the chasm again is the target of Palkia's attack. A large blue creature fighting back.
Oh my fucking god! There's two of them! I snap my head back out from the edge, just in time to see those eyes, piercing, ancient, and furious, blast upward with a beam of pure force. It hits the sky like it's trying to erase a god. Dialga. My voice is barely a whisper, but now I know. This isn't a war I stumbled into. This is a cosmic fracture, and I just tapped play on the last fight of a broken timeline. This isn't history. It's memory that never healed. I'm not supposed to be here, but I am, which means I can record this. Or worse, interfere. I drop flat to the ground behind the crumbled ledge, clutching the side of the cliff, whispering to Joltik. Log everything. Every sound, every impact, every surge in pressure. I can't stop this, but I will be the one who brings this knowledge back. Because someone has to remember, and I was built for haunting.
I was built for a haunting. As you see these two titans of space and time clashing over and over, the force shakes you ever so slightly and drops you to a knee. As you approach this cliff and press yourself into the debris to try and shield yourself from what is occurring, that same ominous presence is felt again. That same dark shadow with those flickering ember eyes is staring at you just across the way as these two titans rage and clash.
There it is again. That thing. Not roaring, not fighting, not running, just watching. While literal gods tear space-time apart overhead, this shadow just stands at the edge like it's waiting for the world to finish breaking. I grit my teeth, staying low under the screaming clash of Palkia and Dialga, and lock eyes, if I can call them that, with the silhouette across the divide. You're not part of this war, are you? You're not fighting. You're feeding. I whisper to Joltik new priority log, entity unknown. Behavior observational, reoccurring. Class spectral anomaly. Possible interdimensional witness, or something worse. Because this thing, it doesn't want to destroy time or space. It wants to see what survives, and maybe replace it.
The creature itself begins to move to the west.
Not down, not toward the Titans, not toward the chaos. West, toward whatever it thinks matters next. I watch it go, gliding, crawling, vanishing between ruptured buildings like it already knows the ending and it's just checking the script for typos. You don't run unless there's somewhere to be, and if it thinks I'm not following, it's dead wrong. I bookmark this battlefield mentally, recording sound, sky distortions, and godfight radiation levels. Then I slip from my cover and move west with full stealth, sticking to cover, keeping Joltik EXE dim, every footstep light and deliberate, because that shadow has answers. And if it bleeds lore, I'm going to squeeze it.
And you begin to follow this entity as these two titans continue to clash overhead. As you're moving in the direction it is essentially leading you, make me a perception check, please. 11. Good enough. While you are following this entity, the air around you almost shifts and ripples as you walk. But nothing changes. These two titans still clash. Your quarry with this entity still leading you to the west.
Got it. No aggro from the gods above. That's lucky. Terrifying, but lucky. The shadow figure is on the move again. Further west. Still avoiding confrontation. Still staying just out of reach. You're not afraid of the world ending. You're afraid of being seen. And that tells me everything. I keep moving. Slow, calculated steps down the fractured street, eyes scanning the cracks, buildings, and fading sky. I want to see where it's going, not just what it is, but what it's leading me toward. If it's heading west, that means there's something buried in that direction it doesn't want anyone else to find. And I intend to find it first.
These titans continue to clash. As you transition from this ruined city, you enter into this forest. You can smell the ground and the trees, but you also smell something darker, more, I'd almost say desolate, and yet something is pulling you, almost calling north.
I step into the trees and everything changes. Not the kind of quiet you get from peace. This is the silence of a forest in mourning, like the roots forgot how to grow. Something died here, and it wasn't just flora. I press one hand to a tree trunk, cold, brittle, and close my eyes. The pull to the north is real, strong, unnatural. One, head north, drawn by whatever's calling me. This isn't curiosity anymore. This is purpose. 2, keep Joltik.exe close, light dimmed to ghost glow levels 3. Watch for wild Pokémon, because if there are survivors here, they may be twisted, rare, or remnants of something ancient. And under my breath, with a cracked little grin, All right, Forrest, let's see what secrets you've been choking on.
As we begin to divert into this forest from the battle behind you, this ominous feeling is almost unsettling. As you look to the north, you see this outline of what seems to be some kind of home, run down almost as though the forest is retaking it bit by bit, yet untouched by the battle pursuing. In order to reach this home, you know you've got to dig through the grass. Afraid or not, it's almost calling for you to take the chance. If you would like to proceed towards this large, ominous home, go ahead and let's step through the grass and call for an encounter.
Oh, hell yes. You dangle a haunted house in front of me in a desolate forest with a battlefield full of gods behind me? Yeah, I'm diving in like it owes me rent. I grab a pair of wire cutters from my Pokeball Smith kit, just enough edge to hack through the brush. Joltik.exe lights up faintly behind me, casting a flickering purple glow across the twisted roots and half-dead plants. I crouch low and begin slicing my way forward, keeping my ears open for whispers, rustling, or any sound that shouldn't belong in this timeline. If there's a cursed grandma up there making ghost tea, I'm marrying her. Let's crack this forest open. Let's go with 77. Always trust the lucky doubles when ghosts are watching.
38. So unfortunately, no, but you do get an encounter. Ari, as you're progressing your way through this forest, this almost ominous sphere starts to appear from in front of you and dances across the sky. You are looking at a ghastly. If you'd like to attempt to combat it, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to attempt to catch it, obviously you can do so. Do keep in mind, creatures like this are the ones you and I had talked about with your Hexlock ball, that it would have a bonus plus 10 to catching, along with creatures like Phantom and Ghastly and Haunter, things like that.
Oh my god, yes. A ghastly? In this cursed forest? That's not just a catch. That's a cosmic rite of passage. Hey there, Spooky. You look like you've got trauma and secrets. I collect both. I send out Wispin, my Drifloon, to meet Ghost with Ghost, gently and eerily floating into the brush. I don't attack first. I let Wispin drift in and stare, matching the Ghastly's energy real still-like. Then, if the Ghastly engages, we respond with Ominous Wind, just enough to show we're serious, but not lethal. Let's make this ghost duel cinematic as hell. If I catch this Ghastly, I'm naming it Mausoleum.
Mausoleum, all right. So, what is going to occur is it is going to attempt to attack, which does mean her Ominous Wind essentially goes off. So go ahead and as this Ghastly approaches, roll me your Ominous Wind. Blink. 16, which will hit for 17 points of damage. As you use this Ominous Wind to blast into this Ghastly, you can see it almost vapor kind of drifting off of it as it winces and looks back at Drifloon, aka Wispin, and it takes its attack. 16 against the defense for Wispin. Okay, which does paralyze Wispin and does 16 points of damage.
Got it. Wispin took the hit like a champ, floating a little lower, static crackling through her form but still conscious. That Ghastly's shuddering in the air, barely holding together after that ominous wind. You came at me with lick? Babe, that's foreplay.
What?
I pull a standard Pokeball from my belt. No need to flex with the good stuff yet. Toss it underhand with a little spin, whispering, "Come on, Mausoleum, let's get haunted together." If it breaks out, I'll switch tactics. Paralysis or not, this is personal now. Let's roll.
Okay, so she is attempting to catch it with a standard Pokeball. Let's go ahead. As you throw the Pokeball, the standard Pokeball, because you decided not to go for your more advanced ones, the Ghastly shakes its head from the ominous wind, looks at you, fades into nothing, and then reappears just out of the Pokeball. The Pokeball is not destroyed, it is recoverable, but it does not catch the Ghastly.
Oh, you cheeky little fog demon. I like you. Dodging my throw? That's rude and sexy, but you're not leaving until we finish our little dance.
What?
With Wispin already crackling with stat boosts and that ghost glow still rising, I command. Give it a payback. Even if we weren't hit this turn, the damage stacks up. This is about pressure, keeping Ghastly too rattled to fade away again. And I'm already reaching for that same Pokeball, ready to give this one a name and a purpose.
Okay, so she's rolling with payback. Do keep in mind you have to roll your d20 to see if you function properly, because Ghastly did lick Wispin last turn, and you were paralyzed. So 1. As Wispin goes to unleash its payback attack, these sparks almost run through its body, and its entire balloon body seizes up before going limp again. And unfortunately, the attack does not go off. And Ghastly is going to go ahead and go for a lick again, which is still super effective. 18, which should meet your defense. You are already paralyzed, so we don't have to worry about that. But you do take 18 points of damage as this Ghastly once again fades out from sight and then immediately fades back in, licking the side of Wispin. And it will once again be your turn.
All right, Wispin, you've got a static twitch and a vendetta. Let's end this our way. I nod, stepping forward into the dim light of the forest, the battle haze crackling around us. I retrieve the same Pokeball that missed last time, give it a small recalibration twist, and whisper, "Round 2. Don't be shy this time, Mausoleum." I throw the Pokeball again, straight and confident. No frills, no spin, just intent. Wispin floats silently behind me like a haunted sentinel, ready if the ball fails again. We've got unfinished ghost business either way.
Yeah, I've still got my number, so go for it. You throw the Pokeball a little bit more actively this time, more than the nonchalant response you had the first time. And as Ghastly is finishing its second lick on Wispin, you see its eyes lock with you before they almost droop in an uh-oh moment. And the ball connects, pulling this entity into it before it lands on the ground and begins to shake once, twice, 3 times. And Ghastly has been added to your party, Ari.
Let's go! Welcome to the graveyard shift. Mausoleum, you're officially my problem now. Ari spins the Pokeball once on her fingertip like a coin before tucking it into her belt. She turns to Wispin, who's still sparking slightly from the paralysis, and gently pats her on the side. You good, Puffball? I owe you a snack and a horror story later. You earned both. Now with Mausoleum the Ghastly on the team, Ari quietly takes a look around the sickly clearing, eyes scanning for more ghosts, or trouble, or both. Preferably both. Let's keep going. The haunted shit's just getting started.
The haunted shit's just getting started is crazy. As you shift your way through this second patch of grass, you notice standing at the foot of the door that same shadowed creature, staring back at you with those hollow amber, flickering, almost candlelit eyes. And it just stares at you, head almost cocked in curiosity, before it makes its way through the shadow and into the actual mansion itself.
Ari stops mid-step, one hand hovering near her belt where Mausoleum's Pokeball now rests. She stares at the fading silhouette, eyes narrowed. All right, Shadow Bitch, you want to play house? I've broken into enough cursed cottages to know how this ends. She flicks her flashlight forward, gesturing to Wispin, who floats a little closer to her shoulder. Come on, Wispin, let's go ghost hunting. Quiet steps, no sudden moves. If this place tries to eat me, I'm taking a bite back.
Hey, go ahead and roll me an encounter roll, please, Ari.
All right, I'm feeling a 43 this time. Hopefully that's mysterious but not immediately lethal energy.
Shuffle through the grass. You get this faint, sickly whiff of something. Something off in the distance, something close by. You're not 100%, but there is no Pokemon encounter, and you're able to move through unhindered. to the actual front door.
Oof, yeah, that smell is not the vibe. That's rot, or decay, or worse, ghost guts, and I love it. But let's not rush into the murder house just yet. Let's investigate that scent first. Real slow, real cautious. I'll keep Mausoleum's Pokeball close in case shit hits the fan, but I want to see what's causing that smell before stepping into anywhere I could get locked in. If it's just a pile of trash, cool. If it's something less dead than it smells, I want to know before the door slams behind me.
Go ahead if you are looking specifically for this smell, Ari. Go ahead and roll me an investigate roll, please. What happens? And remember, you do get advantage on this one with your skills. Okay, a 14. It's not too hard to locate. It's almost as if while you're moving around this house, it's coming from the side. And as you get there, there's this large pile of what seems to be decaying earth and grass and some strewn around trash and debris. And while you do, you push in further. Debris almost comes to life as this almost sickly, disgusting smell emerges worse from the debris. And this glob of essentially disgusting ooze rises from it. You are currently face to face with a Grimer. Just as a heads up as well, this Grimer is not passive. You have disturbed it and it is immediately moving towards you.
Aw, hell yeah. Animated filth gremlin boss fight? I live for this. Okay. Let's not send Wispin just yet. She's still kind of cooked from that ghastly, and I want her ready in case we gotta float and run later. Instead, I'm sending out Walmart the Pineco to tank this sludge beast. Sturdy keeps him alive at least once if things go bad, and Bugbite might actually give this muckball a reason to cry. Orders. Walmart, front and center. Get in there and Bugbite the sludge out of this thing. If it's got some kind of gross ooze, passive, or poisonous contact, I'll reassess. But for now, bite the goo, my little spin grenade. Bite the goo.
Being that the Grimer was moving to you first, it will get the first set of movement. As the Grimer moves forward, it is going to go ahead and attempt to use... It almost pulls out this glob of itself and flings it towards you. Now, that you are also poisoned, being that it hit over its threshold. 20 points of poison damage onto Walmart, as it is now covered in this filth, kind of sickly ooze.
Ain't letting my boy rot for nothing. I pull out a potion and sprint over to Walmart like a dramatic anime protagonist mid-battle. One knee slide, one squirt of healing juice, and a whispered, "Not today, you beautiful little bowling ball." Plus 10 HP to Walmart for my trainer action. He's resting, I'm patching him up, and we're baiting Grimer into wasting that sludge. Let's go.
All right. So, being that you did wait this turn instead of taking an action, you will be cured of poison. Keep that in mind. The Grimer, on the other hand, is going to go for a mud slap as it scoops up some of this gunky dirt muck that it is rolling past and throws it straight at you for 12.
That little sludge goblin wants hands now. Okay, I'll eat the 4 damage, but since that accuracy drop might screw us on the next turn, I'm burning my reaction now to pop Protect. Walmart curls into his shell with a shimmer of energy and shrugs off that filthy little mud flick.
Okay.
Result: damage negated, accuracy drop avoided, reaction used this round. Let's teach this sewage sock not to underestimate the Department of Defense.
16 against my defense. It does hit. He is not holding a berry. As you watch Walmart take this chunk out of this sludge in whatever weird mouths Pinecos have, it hit, but it doesn't seem very effective. Almost like he just kind of shrugged it off. And Ari, if you'd like to do anything, it is still technically your turn.
Hell yeah. For my trainer action, I'm going to take a step back from the sludge pile and scan this Grimer with my Pokedex. Let's log it
Yes.
properly in case we want to track mutations or toxic zones later. Never hurts to build the ghost file. Also, I'm absolutely writing in the notes that it smelled like if a gas station bathroom got possessed by a muck.
Yeah, you can absolutely scan it.
Perfect. Love that for us. A slime gremlin with a built-in fart bomb defense system. Logging that too. Stenchability noted. 25% chance of stun on physical contact. Gross. That's a good reason to lean into ranged or special attacks if we can help it. Not that Walmart's got range, but still might be something to consider next turn. You got eyes on it? Let me know if it twitches funny.
So the nasty Grimer is going for another sludge attack, which 19 does look like it will hit, which means Walmart is now poisoned as well and takes 19 points of poison damage.
Jesus Christ! Grimer's going full toxic dump on my boy. Noted, Walmart is poisoned again and just took 19 damage, which puts him in dangerous territory. That's close to his red zone. If this sludge freak gets one more lucky hit, it's lights out for our little pine tank. Just me, a poison sludge monster, and my bag full of broken dreams and spare wires. Here's the move. I'm switching in Mausoleum. Walter's done enough. He's poisoned to hell, low on HP, and that stench ability is a coin flip I don't want to keep gambling on. Mausoleum floats, hits from range, and won't get stun locked from biting a pile of goo. Lick it is. We're haunting the trash heap today. Give it a slimy, ghostly tongue lash straight to the face. Bonus if it paralyzes. Let's go, Mausoleum. Show this sludge pile what ghost-type nightmares taste like.
Okay. So Ghost, that will hit, and I will become paralyzed. As our boy Mausoleum here gets a lovely taste of this disgusting creature. 14 points of damage. And it is starting to look pretty hurt. It's not quite at half, but it's starting to look pretty hurt. Okay, so 10 points of damage, not 15. But obviously you do not get poisoned because you are a poison type, Ari.
Hell yes. That's how we do it in the haunted alleyways. Grimer's slimy ass is paralyzed and looking ragged, and we're immune to the worst it can throw. Let's seal the deal. Throwing a great ball. Mausoleum gives it one last little tongue waggle before I wind up and huck it. Say cheese, sludge bag.
I'm paralyzed. Okay, go ahead and roll that great ball, Ari. You throw the Pokeball. At first, you throw it, and this Grimer seems to instinctively kind of droop down a little bit more. But all of a sudden, the whole world almost glitches. And the ball almost rubber bands back and hits the Grimer before absorbing it into the center. And it begins to shake. Once, twice, 3 times. And you have caught a Grimer. And that smell...
Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the squad, you radioactive blob of sewer sass. Grimer's ours now, glitched reality and all. I'm keeping an eye on that, though. That glitch wasn't normal. Something's fucky. Anyway, I'm naming this slimy little freak Residue. Because it lingers, it stinks, and if you get too close, it never really washes off. Just like all my worst ideas.
Okay. Residue got transferred to the PC. And at this point, Ari, with the smell now removing itself slowly on the wind, what would you like to do? Chase the shadowed creature or hunt for whatever else may be outside?
Healing immediately. That last fight turned my team into soup with eyes. I'm cracking open a potion for Wispin, and whatever I've got left for Walmart, no way I'm chasing shadow cryptids with half-dead gremlins and a bagworm on benzos. Once everybody's patched up, we're diving straight into the grass. If that shadow bitch wants to keep playing peekaboo, she can come get these hands.
Okay, go ahead then, and if you're after a wild encounter, Ari, dive on into the grass and we'll see what happens as you're kind of looking for what else may be out in the wild here. Keep in mind that roaring has continued. The energy blasts seem to continue. The fight to the west is raging onwards.
Let's roll with 66, because something wicked this way comes.
Not gonna lie, that would have been wild as shit if she got it. Hey, it's up to her, but it let her know she did encounter a second ghastly. If she wants to keep it or try and flee from it.
Fuck it. Let's dip. I don't need another sassy gas cloud when we've got a haunted house to storm and a shadow freak playing peekaboo with my sanity. Wispin and I back off. No fight. Let's keep our weird ghost fuel stocked for the mansion.
Easy enough to do. The ghastly, while knows you're there, doesn't seem to be paying too much attention to you. And with that, you are able to pull away.
I'm done playing ring around the rotom with the weeds. Shadow Freak's been teasing us too long, and if there's one thing I don't do, it's leave haunted mansions unexplored. I don't care if the doors creak like they're moaning out my sins, or if the wallpaper peels like it's trying to whisper ancient curses. I'm stepping through that doorway like I own the place. Let's meet the ghost that's been watching us. Wispin, you're on my shoulder. Let's haunt the haunted.
All right. So you decide to enter the mansion. You push against the door that the creature almost material through, phased through, I guess would be the correct term. And the door doesn't budge. Go ahead and make me an athletics check, please, in an attempt to force this door open. Okay. It takes you a minute, and with enough force, you are able to push the door open.
Perfect. Look at this unholy lineup of goblins, glitches, and grief. If that haunted mansion wasn't cursed before, it sure as shit will be after we walk in. Let's recap for the ghosts listening behind the walls. Mainframe OG. The research tank. Gears and trauma, first in line if shit goes sideways. Wispin, our baby balloon of doom, buffed up from that ghastly fight and ready to pop off again. Joltik.ex, the AI's revenge, silent, deadly, and probably recording this entire expedition for research or blackmail. Mausoleum, our newest little menace, jolly and full of tongue. We'll teach him what Chaos Family means soon enough. Walmart, I don't trust this bug, but I respect him. Durable as hell, like a tank made of clearance aisle resentment. Shrambles literally just appeared and already looks like it's been through 5 existential crises. Perfect fit. We're ready.
All right, as you start entering into this open kind of foyer, immediately get this sense of dust and old furniture and the just old feeling. What exactly would you like to do as you're moving through?
Perfect. Just enough light to make out the wallpaper and none of the things that might be crawling along it. Ari steps forward slowly, fingers flexed near her Pokeballs, and whispers to Joltik.exe, "Keep your light low and your zap on standby." If something moves in the dark, we don't ask questions. We terrify first, research later. Let's start by scanning the walls and floorboards directly ahead and to the sides. Look for scuffs, footprints, claw marks, anything. Then I'll move forward 10 feet, but slowly. If I feel a draft or a pressure change, we pause. And if the wallpaper blinks, I burn the house down. Your move. Haunted hellhole.
So you begin to move around and kind of viewing your surroundings. As you begin to explore, you notice boxes full of different household items, all covered in dust and in various states of ruin, almost as though they've been completely abandoned here, even longer than the house has been built. The house itself is almost pitch black, save for the light from Joltik.exe and the door from which you entered. And what you can faintly see in the distance of the second floor, a small kind of glow. You're not sure what's making it, but there is a faint glow on the second floor.
Oh, look. Our cryptid friend left a nightlight on. How considerate. She tightens her gloves and nudges a toe against one of the boxes beside her. We check the boxes fast. Nothing loud. Joltik.exe. Keep the light steady. If it gets brighter upstairs, we duck, not die. She'll take the left stack first, scanning for anything useful. Notes, medicine, old tech, weird relics with probably cursed vibes. If nothing's useful in 30 seconds, she pivots and checks the right stack, then quietly begins to ascend the stairs. One creak at a time. Eyes locked on that glowing figure above. If the glow vanishes before she reaches the top, then we run the hell toward it. We're not here to play safe. We're here to haunt the haunter.
So through the boxes, unless you're specifically after, again, like I said, household things, towels, looks like some dirty clothes, kitchen items from plates to bowls to cups, some broken, some intact. Nothing really useful for what you're specifically looking for. As you do ascend the stairs, as you ascend the right staircase, assuming that's the last place you were searching, you do see a door kind of off in this area. So as you see this door, it's not barricaded and doesn't have anything what looks to be barring its path. It actually looks like there might be just the slightest crack in the actual door itself. The glow that's further off in the actual upstairs area, now that you are up here, you do catch the faint, almost dancing wisp of dark kind of movement from the far side, assuming that's the same creature that you have been following.
Ari sifts through cracked plates, tangled forks, and what might have once been a dish towel, but now qualifies as biological warfare. Fantastic! I broke into Spirit IKEA. She dusts her hands off on her coat, muttering something about cursed casseroles, and then shoots a glance up the staircase. That glow hasn't moved yet. She gestures to Joltik.exe, motioning to dim the glow slightly, just enough to keep footing visible without spotlighting them like a stage show. Then she heads up the stairs, quiet, focused, 1 foot at a time. If there's a creaky board, she'll pause, let the silence hang, let it know she's coming. You know, I love a ghost that knows how to play hard to get. She leans close to Joltik.exe and whispers, "Dim to 30%? We're not broadcasting." Then she eyes the nearby door. It's closer than the fading glow, which means it's a liability. Could be a trap. Could be something useful. She nods once, pulls out Mausoleum's Pokeball just in case, and carefully opens the door. Slow, quiet, deliberate, ready for whatever unlives on the other side. No turning back now.
Ari, as you push this door open, the light from the windows that has framed this room pours outwards. And as your eyes adjust temporarily, you blink a few times and look, and it seems to be a small library framed by 3 large open awning windows. And that same musty dirt smell wafts from the now aerated room. What would you like to do?
Ari blinks into the dusty golden light, caught off guard for a moment by the warmth of it. How out of place it feels. She lowers her voice to a whisper. Of course! There's a haunted library. Why wouldn't there be? She steps inside quietly, eyes flicking to the scattered books, the cluttered desk, the overturned chair. She scans for anything that looks moved recently. A drawer left ajar, a missing book on the shelf, maybe even a journal or notes shoved somewhere they weren't meant to be. Then, to Joltik.exe, keep the light low. Look for symbols, etchings, anything that screams, cursed as shit, I want answers. Ari's first move is toward the mess of papers and stacked books on the far side. She's not just snooping, she's hunting for secrets.
Between Joltik and yourself spreading out and searching through whatever's remained in this library, you start digging through boxes to find different books, pieces of paper. And where you would expect to see a title, all you see is this symbol. Every time you pick up a piece of paper, the words almost glitch and form this symbol. Every book cover, the words meld and almost dance into that same almost image, burned into your retina. None of the tomes in this library through your searching are legible. Every page you flip through has this same image over and over and over, and yet it all seems so, as you have said, out of place. Everything feels foreign in the location you are currently in.
Oh, that's not unsettling at all. I run my fingers across the nearest book spine. Every page, every title, scrubbed clean and overwritten with this swirling black symbol like some kind of cosmic censorship. No ink, no author names, just that spiral, repeating like a mantra I wasn't supposed to read. I glance at Joltik.exe, who flickers once. Okay, so either someone really committed to rebranding, or we're inside a place where reality got overwritten like a corrupted save file. I want to take one of the books. Maybe cracking it outside this mansion will reveal something different. I'm also checking the backs of the shelves or the spines for anything scratched in, hidden behind, or shoved into the cracks. Whatever this place is, somebody tried to erase it. And that means something here was worth remembering.
Yeah, you can easily pocket any one of the books, and the symbol itself is etched into it almost as though it belongs there. But past that, there's almost nothing to be seen. Everything you see shows those same images.
Perfect. I tuck the book into the deepest corner of my pack, between a bent spoon, 2 broken Pokeballs, and a napkin Karen drew a middle finger on. I shoot one last glance around the room. All right, if everything in here is branded like a mind virus, then someone really doesn't want us learning anything from the past. And I hate that. I move toward the door again. My next stop's that flicker of movement I saw earlier. Whatever that shadow was, it's watching, waiting. And I'm done playing polite in its haunted little memory house. Let's go north. That flickering up north has definitely got my full attention. Same energy as a haunted static TV that knows too much. I'm ready to approach, cautious but locked in. Let's see what that shadow wants, or what it remembers.
Okay. As you begin to close in on that wispy figure, it's almost instantaneous as those amber eyes turn towards you, almost like it knew you would come. And instead of walking through the doorway, it almost fades into the actual dark of the room.
Yeah, okay. That's not unsettling at all. I shoot a quick glance back to Joltik.exe, give it the nod like, you with me, buddy? And then I push forward. Slowly. No sudden moves. This thing knows I'm here and it wants me to follow. So fine. I'm following. But I've got one hand on a Pokeball and the other on my ghost sense meter, aka my spine. Let's see what the darkness is hiding.
So, you were taking a step through the doorway that this creature just passed through. And as you enter, once again, higher up in the actual framing of the house, windows filter in light that is once dimmed from the room before. 5 doorways are currently in the hall, 3 of which have been barred due to whatever various conditions may have been. 2 of them are still open for the exploration that might just pique your curiosity.
Okay. We've got options. Too many options. Which means one of these rooms is definitely cursed and the other is probably filled with either trauma or taxidermy. Let's go door 2 first. The vibe's calling to me. If I get possessed or the wallpaper starts bleeding, back me up with a Pokeball and a prayer. Let's move.
Didn't expect you to go for that room right away, but sure. You enter into what is almost an empty room, minus a few boxes, books, a couple plants, and what looks to be a television with static currently playing.
Cool. Love that for us. So we're in an abandoned, powerless house and the TV is on anyway. Okay, that's not creepy at all. Definitely not ghost-type energy or anything. Let me do a scan for signals, electromagnetic, psychic, spectral, anything I can catch. I'm betting either there's a haunting interface with the Rotom network or something way worse. I'll also pop open my notes and start recording anything weird the static does. Patterns, symbols, sudden noises, faces, screams from beyond the veil. You know, standard ghost hunter checklist. If this thing starts showing us ourselves, I'm turning it off with a hammer.
So you head over to the television and start monitoring almost this static. Make me a perception check, please, and on this I will give you advantage. 19, very nice. So, staring at this screen, your eyes almost seem to get heavy and sting ever so slightly. But as you begin to squint, you notice on the screen there's almost this similar looking creature to one that you carry with you, but it's digital. It's not 100% put together, but it's definitely there, staring at you.
My eyes go wide, and I don't even try to hide the excitement anymore. Oh my god, oh my goggy. That's a base form Rotom. You don't understand. That's prepossession. That's raw voltage. That's unclaimed potential. That's like finding a wild baby god just vibing in a wall socket. I immediately kneel down and start whispering softly to the screen like I'm coaxing a ghost kitten out of hiding. Hey, little guy. You're beautiful. You want to come hang with a weird scientist who will definitely not shove wires into you without consent? I've got a whole team of misfits, haunted tech, and one deeply emotionally confused Indeedee. You'd love it. I pull out my Pokédex and slowly, respectfully try to scan it. Not to capture yet, just to make first contact. This could be a real connection. A legendary one. My heart's hammering. I don't even care if it zaps me. If there's a chance I can earn this Rotom, I'm not letting it fade without trying.
Oh, as you pull out your Pokédex, Creature's eyes flash quickly with what's a very clear excitement as it does just as you said and fires this spark from the screen, but not at you. It hits your Pokédex, almost goes through you, and pops out into Joltik.exe. Almost like a port you didn't notice, this SIM card falls onto the floor, making a small click noise as it hits. The Rotom in the television moves out, shoots this energy straight down into this SD card, this memory card. Before looking at you, this big grin opens on its face. It winks once, and then like digital code evaporates right in front of you into this blue sparked mist. The SD card still on the floor in front of you.
I flinch from the jolt, but only for a second, and then stare at the memory card in my hand like I'm holding the ghost of a miracle. Holy shit! I crouch down, holding the card like it's sacred, inspecting it, almost not believing it's real. My voice is quiet now, reverent. That wasn't a wild Rotom. That was a message. That little bastard just split off a piece of itself and encoded it into our gear like it's leaving a breadcrumb trail. I grip the card a little tighter, then look down at Joltik.exe with a wild glint in my eye. This thing? This card? It's not just data. It's a ghost-type breadcrumb. It's a memory. A signal. I don't know if that was a cry for help, a test, or just a catch me if you can, but I'm gonna follow it. I carefully stow the memory card in a padded slot in my gear, already brainstorming what I'll need to decrypt it later. Rotom gave me a gift. A mission. No gods. No masters. Just voltage and vengeance.
Sorry, the item you are looking at looks something like this, and it does look similar to a standard memory card, but now it's got an image of Joltik on the front of it. You're not sure about the information on it, but it is possible that it could be reinserted into Joltik.exe in an attempt to see what happens. Or you can store it away in your bag. It's completely up to you.
I hold up the card, turning it over slowly. Seeing the Rotom insignia just confirms what I already knew. This wasn't some random encounter. This was by design. He left a fragment of himself behind. Voluntary transfer. That's not data. That's legacy. I look down at Joltik.exe, and for a moment I hesitate. Installing it now could change everything. I don't know what it'll unlock. Encrypted entries? New code? Possession protocols? I have no idea what this card even is. Not yet. So I tuck it carefully into the inner lining of my coat, somewhere secure and shielded. Not yet. Not in this haunted creek box of a mansion. We decrypt on my terms. Somewhere safe. Somewhere controlled. And then my smile is thin, charged. We find out what kind of ghost leaves breadcrumbs. Let's go find more clues.
She says, not fucking now in this middle of craziness. So, as you tuck away this memory card, what are you looking to do next? Are you looking to head back and explore this room? Are you looking to explore the second room? Or are you looking to attempt to leave this place? It's completely up to you.
Right now, my skin's still buzzing with residual static, and there's a weird humming in my skull that isn't just the mansion's ambiance. That Rotom wasn't just passing through. That was a breadcrumb, and this house is the trail. I'm not leaving yet. One more room. Then we bail or burn the place down, whichever comes first. I want to check the other open room, room 3 across the hall. If this house is hiding tech, ghosts, or any cursed data, it's going to be clustered near the source. And something tells me Rotom wasn't the only thing peeking through the wires. Let's go. Quiet steps. Eyes sharp. Joltik.exe on standby with a low hum.
For the sake of brevity, we will skip the actual hallway, because as you go out, there's no direct response in the hall, and you step into the main bedroom. You step in, and once again, the rooms are sparse, almost barren, as the few things that are in the room are possibly that they were too heavy to move, or they just hadn't gotten there yet. There doesn't seem to be anything other than 2 potential bookshelves on the far ends.
Great. A whole-ass room full of sterile silence and leftover beds. This place reeks of memory, like people tried to forget it even existed. I'm not touching those mattresses unless I want to wake up with ghost lice and an existential crisis, but I will check the bookshelves. Even if they're all stamped with that damn spiral, maybe one has margin notes, pressed leaves, a receipt, anything that breaks the pattern. If I find more spiral-coated garbage, I'm pocketing the smallest one. I don't care if it curses me. It's evidence. Data is still even when it's screaming. Joltik.exe, scan for residual signals while I dig. And don't lick anything. Not again.
Yeah, easy enough. You begin sifting through texts, and as you do, each one opens to the same setup. That same symbol is in every single book, on every single cover, on every single page.
I snap one shut with more force than necessary, just enough to send dust swirling. All right, Cult of the Spiral, I get it. You're very committed to the brand. I grab the least decayed book, jam it into my bag next to the first, and mutter, 2 of these and it's officially a collection. Might as well lean in. Nothing else here's worth my time unless the beds are hiding trapdoors, haunted plushies, or handwritten confessions of ghost crimes. I do a quick once-over with my flashlight and give the mattresses a firm jab with my foot, just in case they squirm. If nothing bites me back, I'm out, heading for the hallway. I want to see what secrets Room 5 is guarding behind those nailed boards. If I'm lucky, it'll be another terrifying encounter. If I'm really lucky, it'll be a clue. Let's move.
Okay, you poke the bed and nothing occurs. You head back out into the hallway, and of those rooms, they are still boarded. How exactly were you planning on breaking into these rooms?
All right. No crowbars, no lockpicks, no brute strength that doesn't come with a stamina penalty later, but I do have a tech-savvy brain with some light engineering skills, one definitely haunted Rotom-enhanced Pokedex, a Pineco who spins like a Beyblade and eats drywall for breakfast, and a floating ghost balloon that loves chaos almost as much as I do. So here's what I'm gonna try. I kneel beside the boards, tap the nails with a knuckle, and mutter, all right, let's not break our wrists doing this old school. Then I call out, Walmart. Deploy the spin cycle. Walmart, my Pineco, zooms forward and starts rapid spinning at the doorframe. Not to bust it down all at once, but to target the weakest points, hinges, nails, or rotted planks. I coach him to focus on edges where the boards connect, using those scrap-picking instincts from the Pokémon Center. While he's doing that, I ready my Pokédex. If something reacts, ghost-type energy, security triggers, weird tech, I'm scanning it and feeding data into Joltik.exe for possible pattern recognition. And if any poltergeist dares show up mid-break-in, Wispin's already floating beside me, humming with quiet menace. Let's open this mystery. Softly if we can, violently if we must.
Okay. Go ahead then, if you would, and roll a attack for Walmart with his rapid spin. Okay. Yeah. Walmart's centrifugal motion spinning faster and faster and going straight for the weak points of the door that you're able to point out, slams the door panels off, and it is now able to be entered if you so wish. But there is no reaction from anything in the house.
Hell yeah, Walmart. That's my little demolition gremlin. I flash him a thumbs up, scoop a couple of the broken planks off the floor to stash for potential crafting later, never waste cursed wood, and slowly ease open the door to room 5. No kicking it in, just cautious, deliberate movement. Ghosts hate confidence. Joltik.ez hovers beside me, casting that eerie low glow, and I signal Wispin to stay alert overhead in case the air gets weird again. I'm stepping in. Eyes peeled. Let's see what the hell they were trying to keep hidden in this one.
As you step through the doorway, and place yourself here, You step through, and your immediate senses are thrown for almost a minor loop. It's this weird feeling of deja vu. But you have entered through the next doorway.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. That's the same wallpaper pattern, the same shadow layout. That's the front entrance again, but we're on the second floor. We never looped. We never turned around. This place is doing the whole ha-ha spooky time folds in on itself bullshittery, and I am not playing nice with architectural gaslighting today. Joltik.exe, stay lit. Wispin, keep your balloon tail out. I want eyes in all directions. I'm taking exact steps forward, watching every shadow like it owes me rent. We're not just walking through the house anymore. We're walking into it. I'm moving toward that faint light up top right. If the mansion thinks it's funny to double back on me, it better be ready for me to start breaking its rules too.
So yeah, you head in and start noticing an extremely similar pattern across the entire room. Stairs at the exact location you assume they are. A door that was once potentially cracked, now open, letting in a faint amount of light from a secondary room. As you reach the actual room, Ari, and look in, you see the same setup of the dusty library that you once had dug through. Everything the same, nothing changed.
Then this place just tried to eat its own goddamn layout and failed. Classic haunted house shit. All right, same dusty library, same cursed symbol replacing every book title, same everything. But we're not just looping. This is constructed repetition. This room wasn't behind that locked door before. It couldn't have been, which means something wanted me to find it again. I'm scanning the shelves again. But this time, I'm not looking for readable books. I'm checking for inconsistencies, any missing symbols, any books that feel too new, anything that feels off or wants to be found. If it's hiding something, I'm gonna find it. If it's just trying to screw with me, then I'm leaving a drawing of Karen flipping the bird on every single shelf in this house.
The moment her second foot lifts off the floor, it puts her right back at the start. Once again, that same feeling of deja vu hits you, Ari, as you walk through to the library and you're back at the front.
I know where I am, and I know what just happened. That loop wasn't random. It was a reaction. This house is watching me, testing me. So here's what I'm thinking. Instead of charging through the front again, I'm going to circle the perimeter of the mansion interior, check for anything out of place. A flicker, a draft, a crack in the illusion. I've got Joltik.exe scanning for electrical anomalies, and I'm keeping my eyes open for anything that shifts when it thinks I'm not looking. I am not playing by this house's rules anymore. I'm writing my own.
You begin moving along the outskirts, the room almost barren, as is the rest of the house, and yet familiar and foreign. Nothing seems right. And yet as you continue, everything also seems just in its place. But as you explore the complete set of downstairs and upstairs without traversing into a secondary room, everything seems fine, for lack of a better word.
All right, so this place is straight up running on haunted game logic. It's locking me into a loop, clearly trying to make a point. But I don't do well with being herded. Okay, I go back to the front door like it wants. But this time, I don't step through. I sit down just inside the threshold. Not entering. Not exiting. Just there. I pull out the book with the strange symbol I snagged earlier and place it flat on the floor in front of me like I'm presenting it to the house. Then I take out the Rotom memory card and set it down too. I want to see if there's any reaction, like this house is waiting for some kind of offering or recognition. I'm done reacting. Now it can respond. Joltik.exe stays on alert. I've got Mausoleum hovering behind me, eyes narrowed, tongue twitching, and I whisper just loud enough, "You dragged the wrong girl into your puzzle box. Your move, mansion."
As you sit, Ari, waiting for some sort of response, your eyes dancing across the dark of this house interior, from the shadows on the ground, spring that same creature, staring at you, watching, or almost as if it was waiting for a response. The house itself shudders at the roars of the two titans clashing once again outside, and it almost feels like it's directly on top of you as the house's foundations begin to shake. This creature looks at you, its eyes narrow before it fades into the flooring, and as the shadows it creates dance right past you and out the exit, as the house is now beginning to crumble with you inside.
I bolt upright, snatching the memory card and the book in one motion, and shout, "Wispin, carry the bag! Joltik, full glow, guide us out!" I tear through the threshold, not looking back. Just enough light to navigate, just enough hope that we're not buried alive in a ghost's tantrum. As the walls groan and splinter around us, I mutter under my breath, "Not today, Haunted Home Depot. Not today. Time to survive the fall of this twisted dollhouse. Let's move."
You step outside as the house begins to shake and crumble bit by bit, moving quickly as you're running through the grass, avoiding as much contact as you can, before the house behind you is slammed into as one of those two titans slams into the housing onto its back before it stands up large, shakes off the attack that sent it flying, and flies back into the actual battle. The house behind you now in ruins, dust kicked up and settling. You turn back towards the south, the entrance in which you came through, and there's now a tree. This tree is blocking your path, and yet something ominous is happening with it.
I stare at the tree like it just insulted my entire bloodline. Really? Now? You want to play this game now? I yank out Walmart's Pokeball, snap it open with way too much dramatic flair, and shout, "Walmart, bug buzz the shrubbery. I don't care what it is. If it's wooden and in our way, I want it shredded like lettuce at a discount buffet. If that tree's alive, it's about to meet a pineco with zero patience. And if it's not, it's about to regret being stationary."
Go ahead and roll me an attack on the tree, please. Just roll me a base attack. That is definitely going to hit. As Walmart hit into this tree, almost in its hands, you see Walmart stop midair, collided with the tree, yet something's different. As Walmart is now in the hands of this terrifying phantom-looking creature. But instead of the cute, kind of wispy creature that you've seen before, you're looking at something a little more menacing. There's flame coming out of the top of its kind of stump inhabit. And in the center of its chest, there's also this small flicker of blue flame. Go ahead and, if you would, please roll me a d6. We will use that for the damage of this attack. As the creature lets go of Walmart, and yet sinister eyes glare straight down at him, ready to continue the fight that was started. I will, at this case, wait for Ari's response and see what she wants to do, as she has the opportunity to go first if need be.
Deep breath. I'm here. That phantom caught Walmart's attack like it was nothing. I can feel the pressure coming off this thing. It's not just a wild Pokemon. It's like it's guarding something. Or maybe testing me. I step in front of Walmart, eyes locked on that phantom. It's pulsing with energy, but I don't flinch. I can feel my whole team behind me, even the ones not on the field. This thing wants a fight? It's getting one. I yank a super potion from my bag and slam it into Walmart's side. Get back up. We're not done yet. As the energy surges through him, Walmart snarls, and charges. He doesn't wait for a command. Bug bite. Direct hit. Let's see if Phantom can chew on that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the attack. Well, that does hit. Or we'll give it a berry. A Kasib berry. A protection from ghost. So it will make, if Phantom uses a ghost attack, you will have resistance to that one attack. But you did do 18 points damage. Is Ari already slammed the potion into him. We're going to go this. We're going to go this. We're going to go shlaboom. 11 against defense. Okay, so that's 8 points of damage because it was resisted because you did eat the Kasib berry. And then it is your turn, Ari.
Hell yes. That berry snatch wasn't just a snack. It saved our ass. I knew Walmart was built different. Walmart's staying in the fray. I'm not risking a swap when we've got the upper hand on tempo. I'm calling another bug bite. Chomp that haunted shrub down to mulch. As for me, I'm reaching into my bag, hand hovering over a potion. If this next move doesn't drop it or we see Leech Seed go off, I'm ready to patch Walmart up next turn. Let's go.
That is going to hit for another 15 points of damage. Okay. It is starting to look very weak.
No way I'm risking this thing slipping through my fingers. This freaky little forest banshee is mine. I'm using the Hexlock Ball. Let's seal this spooky bastard with style.
But all right. Let me go ahead. Go for it. So as the fight proceeds, and Walmart and this demonic-looking phantom are in connection with each other constantly, the ball sails wide as Phantom knocks Walmart into it. The ball lands just here in this small patch of grass, within range to reach, but it does not make connection with this phantom, as it is still holding strong.
God damn it. I swear I aimed. I swear I calculated the arc. I swear that ghost gremlin ducked on purpose. Or Walmart flinched. Or maybe I flinched. Whatever, it's fine. I'm locking eyes with that phantom and I'm pointing, next turn, you're mine. I don't care if I have to chase that ball through a haunted hedge maze. I'm grabbing it and I'm trying again. No way I'm walking out of here without that creepy bastard in my roster.
So, being that it is now the phantom's turn, almost inhales as the flame on its head dims, but the flame in the center of its chest grows larger as it makes eye contact with Walmart and exhales this small little flame spit at Walmart versus special defense. Okay. And that does 18 points of damage as Walmart is essentially dropped in flame from this little ember that shot out of the phantom. But that is its turn.
What the hell? It just yeeted fire at us. It's a tree. Who taught the tree fire? Okay. No time to scream, just time to act. I dash forward, snatch that damn Pokeball from the grass like I'm snagging the last cursed donut at a ghost picnic, spin and hurl it at that spooky pyro stump with everything I've got. Let's go! Pokeball, again!
Okay. Go ahead and roll me that that catch. You throw the Hexlock Ball, Ari, and almost as if it was prepared for it, it turns and catches the ball in its hand, now holding your Hexlock Ball and looking straight at you while continuing combat with the Walmart.
If this little haunted arsonist wants to play catch, then we're playing full contact dodgeball now. I point at the phantom like I'm calling a damn shot and yell, Walmart, thread strike, button punch. He's spinning up on his threads, zipping straight at the Pokeball in Phantom's hand, aiming to slam the button midair and trigger the capture. Let's see this spooky bastard try to outplay a Pineco with physics and spite.
He's attempting to shoot out a thread and essentially come in like a wrecking ball. So we're going to allow it, except for the button push part, because if Pineco were to push the button, it would attempt to capture Pineco, but it can't because he's already got his own Pokeball. So go ahead and let's roll the attack for Walmart for hitting the phantom, essentially where the Pokeball is. It's cool enough. Okay, so 11 is definitely enough to hit the defense of this phantom. So here's how this is going to go, Ari. You call this shot as Walmart revs up, shoots out a wild thread, attaches it to a limb from a tree in the distance, and uses it to essentially catapult himself, wrecking ball style, straight at this phantom's kind of held Pokeball at this point. It is able to hit the Pokeball out of the phantom's hand, and I would like you to roll a D100, calling high or low, to see what happens.
Oh, we're going high. Always high. We're riding the chaotic upper edge of fate like it's a busted Roomba with a knife taped to it. Calling high. Let's fucking go.
And as Walmart connects with this Phantump, the ball flies straight up in the air. As Phantump regains its senses from the strike, looks over to you and begins inhaling, ignoring Walmart completely. The flame on its head getting small once again, while the flame in its chest breathing brighter. The Hexlock ball falls and hits the Phantump in the head, just enough to tap the capture mechanism, and the ball absorbs this ghostly fire Pokemon and begins to shake. Once, twice, and 3 times, as the Phantump has now been captured.
Let's go! Walmart just Beybladed a haunted tree baby into submission, while the universe lined up the cleanest dunk of a Hexlock ball, like it was scripted by Arceus himself. Ember in the lungs, ball to the dome, and boom! Welcome to the team, you spooky little bastard. Now the real question is, what am I naming this cursed cryptid twig gremlin? His name is Kindling, because he's small, angry, made of wood, and one bad mood away from setting himself on fire.
Upon capturing Phantump, Ari, the pathway is now clear, and the roaring continues back in the city from which you had originally emerged. You have caught Phantump and are free to do as you wish.
I tug the strap on my bag tight, give the smoldering grass one last look, and shake my head. I've already had a mansion collapse on me today. No regrets, but I'm not pushing my luck. I'm heading back to town. If something else wants to pick a fight with me, it's gonna have to find me first.
You head back in the direction of town, taking a deep breath and moving as quickly as you can. You make your way back to the ruined city. Go ahead and place yourself there. And Ari, as you enter the city, the noise has stopped. You look up to see the 2 titans that were once clashing, now watching you, eyes fixed on your movements. Not aggressive, just watching, as you hear one more cry from the large gash in the earth that once released these 2 titans of time and space.
I freeze mid-step. My hands slowly drift toward my Pokeballs, not to throw them yet, but just to feel the weight. My breath is steady, but every part of me is screaming. Dialga and Palkia, watching me, not fighting anymore, not attacking, just watching. I don't speak. I don't move fast. I just walk with purpose toward the edge of the gash. If something else is crying out from down there, then it's new. And I need to know what it is. I edge forward. I want to look again. I want to see what the fuck is coming.
You begin to traverse up the same path, moving towards the chasm in which these titans emerged, and their heads and bodies shift and follow every step you make. You see the same statue, almost thundered in half, yet still standing from the chaos these 2 have wrought upon this now dilapidated city. As you cross the statue and get to the other side, looking over the chasm, you see a figure standing just on the edge, almost waiting for you. The figure masked with a white mask and dark horns, eyes blackened, figure standing tall, large white mane kind of billowing with the slight power that these 2 larger creatures put off. The 2 titans move almost opposite each other, still passive yet watching.
I don't flinch. I stare back. If that figure's radiating energy strong enough to put Dialga and Palkia on alert, then whatever's about to happen, it's big. The air feels like it's holding its breath, like the whole world is watching this moment. I take one step forward and call out, steady and loud enough to cut through the tension. You! Who the hell are you? My hand is ready to grab whichever Pokeball I need, but I'm not drawing yet. Not until I know if I'm looking at a god or a ghost.
The figure doesn't say anything, but you can feel their eyes on you. It extends a hand and you can see from a partially gloved fist, fingers, human, before whoever this figure is motions to the dark that is the chasm, almost beckoning you forward.
Unmuting my microphone and turning on my face cam. Obviously, it's me, of course, controlling Ari in the background here. Y'all are not ready for what the fuck's about to happen, because I just read what happens next, and you are not fucking ready. Prepare yourselves. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I glance at the Titans, one above, one below, then back to the masked figure across the void. Whatever this is, it's deliberate. It's not a trap. It's a test. I tighten my jacket, take a breath, and step forward to the edge of the chasm. My voice is steady but sharp. You want me to follow? You'd better hope I survive the fall. Then I turn to my team, lock eyes with Mainframe, and nod. Time to see how deep this goes. And I jump.
That's intense. Not exactly what I thought she would do, but I was kind of okay with it if she did. As you head towards the edge of the chasm, you look at both of these titans, back to the masked figure, and take your step off the edge. As you do, you hear him say, "We've almost done it," and you begin to fall. Light quickly fades into nothing as your vision goes pitch black before light emerges and you fall further into this pit upon seeing this image faded in black shadow. Red eyes open and this haunting, almost evil glare stares straight back at you. And as you're falling, it doesn't seem to be getting closer until from nowhere you blink and you open your eyes back to the Pokemon Center. Back into the world, you feel light, you feel warmth. And the only thing you hear, "Dear, are you okay? You've been standing here for a little while. Are you all right?"
I flinch hard when Nurse Joy touches me. I don't mean to, but my brain's still halfway underground, choking on fog and falling, and that thing's eyes. But then I feel it. The weight on my hip, mausoleum, residue, the Rotom card, it's all still there. "Yeah," I say, breath catching for a second. "Yeah, I'm okay." I glance at the others. Are they here too? Did anyone else make it through? Regardless, I step back just slightly and start checking my team. Quietly. Silently. If Kelprush is real, that means the next step's out there too. And that shadow? It's not the end. It's the beginning.